Hey everyone, I am Coach Rachel and we are back with another Strength Day workout. Today we are going to use some bands if you have them available to you. If not, you're going to need a set of weights or two things that you can hold that have equal weight. There are lots of different bands out there. If you have ever done physical therapy, you probably have one of these laying around. They're coming in really handy right now. You can tie them together, you can tie a knot and close it in the door. There's lots of different things that you can do with it. Or you might have a band that has handles or that looks like this. And any will work today, any are fine. I think I'm going to go with handle today. Ideally, there are 3 exercises where we are going to use an anchor point. So if you can, find a spot where you can, again, get this, close your band into a door safely or secure it somewhere. I'm going to give my pillar a try today. And but if not, if you don't have a spot, I'm going to show you a different option where you don't have to anchor, but you can do the same movement pattern. All right, meanwhile, pop on some music, fill up your water bottle. It is going to be 3 mini circuits of 3 exercises. Our first is going to be lower body movements. Our second is going to be upper body, and our third is going to be core. We're going to do 2 rounds of each, 45 seconds work, 15 seconds rest. Please, please, if you can, come back to this workout, and when you do, add another set or 2. That would be great, and maybe even increase your reps. That would be so ideal for you if you are using a band. But for time's sake today, we're going to do 2 rounds. What else we got? What else am I thinking of? Oh, our question of the day. Here's what I was thinking about. I was chit-chatting with my girlfriends the other night. I've known them since middle school. And we were talking about things that we are doing virtually now as opposed to in person, or that we were doing before but would like to continue. And so that is our question of the day. What is something that you are doing now virtually, or maybe that you were doing before that you want to continue doing? I think that Anytime Fitness is the largest fitness franchise in the world. And I have lots of friends all over the planet, and it has been so nice. We've always connected, but we've gone to extra effort to collaborate and share and check in with each other virtually. So that is something that I have loved, and I plan on continuing. So let me know in the comments. Plus, who knows, we might even share some new ideas that some of us haven't even tried yet. Okay? Meanwhile, we are going to warm up and then get started. You are going to need your band for a couple warm-up moves, but we are starting with, let me set this down here. Okay. We are starting with, traditionally this is done laying down, but we're going to do it standing today. It is called the Handcuffed Drill. So it's a great shoulder opener. So here's what it looks like, and I might show you from the front and then flip around so you can see what I'm doing back too. But you're going to start with your hands behind your head. Let me take one more step back. You are going to reach out and really reach out, come down, flip your hands over, rotate, and then put your hands behind your back. And then on the way out, hands behind back, and then you'll reach out, come out, and rotate, and hands back. So if you are doing it, let's see if I can go this way. So if you're from the back, it will look like this. You'll start here, and then you are going to reach out, come around and down, and then back up, around, behind the head. And watch too when you're doing this that you're not overarching your back. So as I go out, I'm not doing this, right? I do have a little lordosis, so I got to watch that. But I'm going here, I'm reaching out, coming around, and here. And so when I reach out, I'm not doing this. I'm keeping everything tucked and tight. Okay, let's do one more. And again, this one feels so good if you're laying down on the ground on your stomach too. Okay, Then coming up, we have a 4-point hip opener. So you are going to start in a half kneel. I think this will be the best angle here. You are going to push your hip forward. I changed my mind. I'm going to go this way a little bit. Okay, so I'm here, and then I'm going to push my hip forward. I'm going to push gently and come back, and then step it out this way to point number 2 and come back. Step it out a little bit further and come back, and if you can, step it out a little bit further and come back. So really you're just shifting the weight in the direction, I should have put a mat down, that you're going. So I'm shifting my weight forward and come back. I'm going to step it out this way a little bit, shift out this way. Oh my gosh, did you guys hear that? My hips are popping. It felt really good. Oh my gosh. All right. Okay. After our hip opener, I might need to grab a mat today. We are going to grab our band and do some overhead rotations. So a gentle grip, the wider that you go. So here's what it looks like without the band. You're not using a band. You're gonna go like this and come up and over and back around. And when you're using the band, you're hanging onto it, going out to your range of motion that's comfortable, and you're coming around and then back through. Now I know, like, for me this feels good, but I could actually bring my grip in a little bit, create a little tension with the band, and give it a little bit of a pull as I go, and that feels even better because now I'm starting to activate my back too, not just swinging my arms. I gotta watch these handles. I'm swinging these handles around. Okay. Oh my gosh, I love this one. It feels so good. All right. Then we are doing some pulls. Let me kind of see if I can wrap up my handles a little bit here. So going here, pulling down, squeezing your back together, coming up. So you'll be in a T shape. Here, pull. And even, I don't get to show you guys like the back so much, but you really should be. Let's go back here. If I'm going here, I should pull down. So I'm not up here. I'm down here. I'm pulling and I'm squeezing my shoulder blades together, and then I'm letting them come back out. So we're getting some scapular retraction here that should feel really good, right? Because in general, a lot of us are kind of up in this position all day because we're at a device or like we're just stressed. So to have our shoulders come down and back is really, really good for us. Okay? All right, that is our quick warm-up. We are going into our first move, so it's going to be a squat, a deadlift, and a split squat. We have a 10-second countdown. Get your band ready, and we will get going here. So if I have a handle, what will work best for me is stepping and then coming up. Sorry, I was messing this one up. Coming up this way or this way, because I want to be able to make sure that I'm using the tension. Because what's amazing about bands, and I think they're really underestimated, is that it keeps tension and resistance through full range of motion. So I really have to fight against this band on the way down in my squat and on the way up from my squat. Nice. Remember, you're just going as low as you can. If it's lower than me, great. If it's higher, just here and coming up. Either way, make sure you're coming down and all the way up to that stand. One rest, okay? Then we are going into a deadlift. Depending on your band resistance, you might need to ditch the handles and choke down a little bit. But either way, we are pushing hips away, hinging back, and then coming up to a stand. So really making sure that you're keeping tension on the back of the body, the hamstrings, and the glutes. And you know what? I still need a little bit more resistance. I feel like I'm just tipping over. Okay, let's try this. Gotta push back. There we go, and come through. Good. Making sure that we're not rounding our back, and also the opposite, not overarching either. Okay? Rest. For our split squat today, I'm going to have you stand on your band, and normally, let me choke down a little bit, I'd want you to stay pretty upright. Today, I am going to let you have just a little bit of a natural lean or tip forward, not excessive, not here, right? But instead of being straight up and down, I just want you to have just a little bit of a hinge at the hips. Good, and switching sides. Here, here. I gotta get organized on this side. A little bit of a slight tip. It's not crazy, but you don't have to stay totally upright today. Where are we at? 5 seconds. 2, 1. All right. Okay, we are going back into that squat. So, getting on your band, round 2. Remember, we're only doing 2 rounds. But if you come back and do this on your own, it would be great if you broke this into sets and reps. So 15 to 20 reps and 3 to 4 sets. I just figured that you probably wouldn't want to sit at home and watch me do 20 reps all day long. Good. Ooh, I seriously love bands. This feels so good today. We are more than halfway, about 10 seconds to go. I'm sitting back and down. My whole foot is flat on the ground, and I'm squatting as low as I can for me. 2, 1. All right, done with squats. Okay, setting up for that deadlift. I'm gonna see if I can prepare a little bit better this time. All right, a little more tension here. All right, pushing my hips back and away and coming up to a stand. Good. I'm probably moving a little bit slower than I would like you to. It's sometimes it's tricky for me to coach and do the motion. So if you want to pick up speed at home, let's go a little bit quicker with these. That's a nice part about bands, is that you can be a little more explosive. Good. Last couple. 2, 1. All right. Okay, then our last one for our lower body circuit is that split squat with just a tiny little bit of a hinge today. So step in, choking way down on the band to keep tension. Setting up, and we're coming down. Oh, scoop my handles here. Coming down and coming up. And I even, depending on what level you're at with fitness, I even shorten my range of motion up a little bit on this one. Let's switch sides. So I always keep tension on this front leg. So if I stand all the way up, it's tense, but if I come to about here, ooh, I keep that resistance going, and really that muscle doesn't get a break until right now. Let's rest. Okay, that is our lower body circuit. Let me reset our timer And we are going into upper body. We have a press, a face pull, and a reverse fly. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Make sure you are finding ways to pull at home, horizontally, here or here is best, if preferred, if you can, just because in general, most people need more pull than push in their program. So we are doubling up on pull today. Our first move is going to be a split stance overhead press. Okay, so stepping on the band with my back foot, stepping forward. You go angle here, okay, and I'm pressing. And I'll let you know when to switch. Just this little bit of a staggered stance is so good in helping improve your core stability. And I don't just mean your core, I mean your hips too. Let's switch side. Technically, sorry, your hips are part of your core. But I think sometimes when I say core, people think abs. And what I really mean is shoulders to booty, anything but your limbs. We have 5 seconds. 2, 1. All right. Okay. Next up, we have, if you have a place to loop, here we go. I'm going to bear hug this. Loop your band. We're going to do a face pull. For me, I prefer it a little bit higher, but I don't think it's going to stay put. So let's shoot for just shoulder level, stepping back and pulling. Okay. If you don't have a way to anchor this, you can certainly double up on your band, come straight out and do the same motion, but without a post. So I'm still getting that pull, and I'm still keeping that tension in my back and shoulders. Oops, sorry, I want to make sure too. Let's keep shoulders down. Remember I was talking about we get elevated here? Shoulders down and then pull. All right, so if I'm bear hugging this, I'm not up here, I'm here, and then I'm going. Okay, rest. All right, then we've got reverse fly. So depending on your band, you might have to do this single-sided, which is fine. Or you can step on it here using the handles. Let's see, I think I'll go this way, handles or not. We'll see how much resistance I can get. I think I'm gonna have to ditch the handles, but we're going out here, squeezing back together. Okay, so I think maybe it would be better if I took a foot out, ditched the handles, and went, yeah, there we go. This is better for me, and it might be better for you at home. Just because I can get a little bit more range of motion. When I had both my feet on it, I could only get so far. Here I can get a nice, a little bit better pull. 5 seconds, 2, 1. All right. Round 2, we are back to that half, that split squat press. So if it's in my left hand, I'm stepping on it with my left foot, staggering my stance forward, coming up here, shoulders and hips square. And we're thinking about loading our core, meaning not just our abs, but our hips and our booties too. Working on a little balance work, because anytime you split your stance like this, there's a little balance required. Good. All right, switching sides. Right foot, left foot. I almost started singing a song there. Last couple. I think this is a good angle. Good. 5 seconds. 2, 1. Rest. Okay, let's get ready for that face pull, either looping it or remember you have the option to hold and just pull back too. We're trying to work on that, some really good shoulder health, good posture. All right, like I said, ideally if I could keep it anchored up there, I would. It's all right, a little bit better, maybe. It's probably gonna keep moving. Just because in general, I am one of those people that have my shoulders up here. So if I keep my band up a little bit higher, it will help me work on keeping them down, right? I think a lot of people tend to carry some stress in that upper back neck region too, without even knowing it. We're just all locked up. Good, we've got 5 seconds. I'm pulling, my band's traveling around, so I'm having, there we go. All right, okay. Now we have that reverse fly. Kind of discovered last time that if we ditch the band and do a staggered stance with it, it works a lot better, at least for me. Play around with your stance. But either way, we're trying to get a full range of motion. Sometimes I see people try to go crazy high with this. You don't have to. It's just to that point where you can still create and keep tension and work on pinning your shoulder blades together and then coming back out. But again, without coming up here and doing it, you have to stay down and pull from here. Even if that means you don't pull as far. We have about 10 seconds, last couple. 2, 1, all right. Okay, that is our upper body circuit. So, let me reset here. Our last one is going to be core moves. Again, we have 2 with anchor points that are ideal, but I'll give you options. And we will be down on the ground for 2 of them. So grab a quick water. We're gonna start with one of my favorites. Let's see, I might have to just move my mic quick. I wanna bump it. Okay, let's go. We're going into a dead bug. Oops, I broke it. I keep breaking these things. I'm too strong. Okay, hang on. We are going into a dead bug. So you're going to anchor your band. Sorry. I can't see if it's on. Okay, we're good. Sorry. Okay, last round. If you can, you're going to, after all that, I'm just going to take it off. If you can, you're going to loop your band around awkwardly. And for this dead bug, coming around, creating some tension. Ugh, love this one. Whole back, whole spine stays flat. My pony's in the way on the ground. And really think about, you're not just holding this, you're pulling down, creating tension, and then lowering each leg. Again, working on trying your best to keep your whole spine flat on the ground. 2, 1, all right, okay. Then we are going up for a press. So, you're gonna keep your loop, go about shoulder height. All right, oops, a little bit higher. Pulling this out, creating some tension. Okay. Don't budge, do not move while you press in and out. I think my one arm looks a little bit higher because I'm hitting my mouse. Okay, stay down. So I'm using my glutes and my core to not get pulled this way, to stay square, have no rotation while I press in and out. Ooh, I love this one. You want to make it harder? Narrow your stance. Rest, okay? Our last one, we're going back down to the ground. It's going to be a plank hold with some resistance. So you're going to go into a forearm plank hold. I'm going to step back, make sure I have a little more resistance. I might even need to choke down on my band a little bit. And I'm going to hold. Can you see me? Okay, I'm going to hold here. And again, I'm not just hanging onto the band for funsies. I'm using it to really pull down and get my core engaged while I'm holding still from head to toe. Your elbows are stacked under your shoulders. Your feet are together. If you want to make it easier, you can widen your stance. But either way, we're working on, you can set your knees down too. Hold here, either or. We have about 5 seconds. Rest. Okay, our last round, so we are going back to that dead bug. Pulling here. All right, knees 90, my feet are flexed. I'm pulling. I have some resistance here. Even if I just hold right here, this should be on fire. It should be burning. Meanwhile, if you can, drop legs alternating. Good. No breath holding on these core moves. Last couple. Let me see if I can pull even harder. Hold back, flat on the ground. Done with that one. All right, then we are coming up for that press. Let's see if I can get my band to stay. Okay. Coming up here, about shoulder height. All right. Oh, I'm sorry too, I forgot to show you, if you were doing the dead bug without a post, you can certainly just pull the band tight and hold. And you can do this press too. It's better if you can have a post, but you can do the same thing, stepping on it, coming here, and pressing out. How did I do this before? There we go. Because again, I'm just trying not to let it pull me down. So I'm holding here and pressing out, whether I have it anchored to something or not. Good. 5 seconds. All right, okay. And then that last one is the plank. So either you're holding a plank or looping around the post for that final, final move of the day. Coming down. Creating some resistance. Okay. Holding here. All right, where are we at? Elbows under shoulders, I'm stacked. One straight line, head to toe. I got a little pushed up out of my shoulders. I wanna make sure I stay down because I cheat. I don't know what I cheat, but then I'll rely on my shoulders to do all the work. All right, so I'm holding here, and we have about 10 seconds to go. Again, if you're on fire, set your knees down, no problem. Last couple, 2, 1, and done. I'm gonna shoot this thing out the side. All right, woohoo! Let me stop my timer. Okay. All right, we got through our strength day workout. Remember, if you're gonna repeat this on your own, it would be great if instead of time, you switch to sets and reps, 15 to 20 reps, 3 to 4 sets, and keep that speed up, a little more explosive. Otherwise, we will see you tomorrow, 8:30, 7 Central. Have a great week. Make sure to hydrate, get some sleep, and we will see you soon.